Welcome to the Great British Crochet Off technical version, where I discuss the technical aspects of this week's episode of the Great British Crochet Off. If you missed this week's episode, you can get to it right up here. And in this episode, we made this adorable strawberry top that was themed on a Charlotte Russe dessert. So let's go back in time and see how we got here. So I just finished watching this week's Great British Bake Off. It was Victorian week, and this is actually the Friday before when I would usually watch it, because I finished pastry week a day or two early. So we are a little bit ahead of schedule, which is good because I have something maybe a little bit more complex for me planned. This week I'm going to be making a piece of clothing, which I thought I would be doing more of during this series. I thought I would do more clothing pieces, but this is the first time in a while a clothing piece has popped into my head after watching an episode. So the showstopper this week was a Charlotte Russe, which is like a pretty ladyfinger and bavois and cream and strawberry dessert. And here in, maybe because here in the US, Charlotte Russe, I think it still is a clothing chain, was a clothing chain. It popped in my head to make a Charlotte Russe inspired top. I was originally just going to make like a straight tank top that was just like straight down, more like a tube kind of tank top, but then I started thinking about doing, I think I'm gonna do like a bralette style tank top and do like a longer rib cage on it, and on there I'll do like kind of like ribbing in a ladyfinger design, if that makes sense. When it's done, I'm doing this, this is the Big Twist Living in cream. I'm going to be using this as the base for the top, and then I'm going to decorate it with like strawberries and like foamy little bits and things to make it look Charlotte Russe-y. So yeah, I've made a bralette top before because I used that as the base for a dress that I've made, so I feel pretty confident in like putting this together sans pattern. So I'm actually going to start by, I need to look at a bunch of pictures of Charlotte Russe's, like the dessert. And then I'm going to start with the bralette part of the top, and then we'll do the rib cage afterwards. So I'm going to put together the cups because that's kind of the first part, and we'll go from there. So here are the cups for my top, and this one needs its little yellow outline. I was trying to get the idea of like a ladyfinger when you have the powdered sugar on top and you can see the yellowish cookie peeping out from underneath. So here's the pattern for how I got to this point so far. Those first couple rows, I just repeated that same building up until I got to 14 rows, which was 20 stitches up before I did my increases. And then this last row, I just did single crochets, no increases, just to clean up this line a little bit. So if you need a larger or smaller cup for your top, you could just do more rows, which continue to build it out in this way, or you could do less. So I'm going to add on my yellow line here, which is actually also crocheted on the back loop, just so I had it kind of, it looked like it was underneath the powdered sugar top. And now what I'm going to play around with is some different swatches for my rib cage band. I think I want to do like some kind of ribbing so it looks like the ladyfingers standing up, but I need to play around for a little bit. So I'll check back in with you guys. So I decided to go with double crochet ribbing. I'm pretty happy with the look of it. It's giving me like the lines of ladyfinger. It's giving me like pastry wrapper. I'm very happy with it. So I am going to finish doing this so it fits the circumference of my rib cage, and I will check in with you then. So my double crocheted ribbing is around 29 inches. So I'm going to pause here on it, and I'm going to sew my cups to the front, and then I'm going to start to work on the shoulder strap. And I think for that, what I'm going to do is have on either side, I'm going to have a long piece of red go down here and around up the back, and it'll tie like a bow on top of my shoulder, so you kind of get the like bow around the cake effect. So if you can imagine like down like one red strip that goes down here around the rib cage of it and up the back, and it'll tie up the back, and there'll be one on either side. And then I also want to decorate this with a bunch of crocheted strawberries because this is a strawberry Charlotte Russe, obviously. So I think I'm going to also play around with making just a flat little strawberry pattern. I haven't done strawberries before. So I'm going to figure that out and do the long strips for the shoulders. And then yeah. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to do these strawberries. And I thought I would start with adapting my heart pattern. And then I was like, well, what is a strawberry but just a little heart shape? So I've posted this heart pattern actually before in a Great British Crochet Off technical version. But I'll post like the written one up in the corner there. So all I did was make a bunch of these hearts. And then this is just 3 chains, and then I slip stitched back up. And then I sewed in just some little strawberry seeds. So I'm going to finish making all of these. I think I made about 15 of them. And then what I'll do is when I'm ready, I'll just sew them on around the edge. That's why they've got a nice long red tail, so I can sew on the edge. So I'm going to work on finishing all of those now. So I sewed the cups onto here. So it's starting to actually look like a shirt now. And then I made the first of the straps, and I promise, trust the process with me on this one. I think it's all gonna work out. So here's the first strap. This is about 200 chains long with my 3.75 millimeter hook. And this is just the standard big twist acrylic in the darker red that I used for the strawberries. So the line of the ribbon goes like around here, and then it'll tie at the top. And I'm going to make one for the other side. So both of these straps are done, and I don't know if I said this before, but I crocheted these all going in the same way. So after every row, instead of turning it and going back, I started again at the beginning. For some unexplainable reason, it was important to me that all of the stitches on this side be the front facing and all of this one be the back facing. Kind of like knits and purls in knitting. So I think what I'm going to do next is attach the strawberries. I think that will help me kind of see the vision before I do these straps. So that's what we're going to work through next. As suspected, the strawberries are perfect. They are so dreamy and cute. So now I'm going to sew on the 2 straps that I made, and we'll see if it needs any other touches. Hi, Violet. So I sewed my straps on using some red yarn, and I just tried to go through like the back loop of these yellow stitches so you wouldn't see too much red coming through on them. So I'm going to try it on, and I will see if it needs anything else or if I feel like it's finished. Okay, but this is so cute. This is so cute. This is way cuter than I had ever imagined. I need to like steam it and fix the straps a little bit because they're kind of rolling down. I think if I steam it and I shape it, I can get them back in place and just tie these a little bit better. But yeah, this is it. This is our Charlotte Russe top. I trusted the process and it definitely paid off. I'm gonna be wearing this all spring.